Hello and welcome. Late evening stream. We had the new OpenAI GPT-5, and without further ado, let's just jump in there. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this is what we will do today. I prepared a fresh Business Central extension with nothing in it. I prepared something for Business Central devs as well. That's gonna be interesting. We will have a look at the model, what OpenAI announced, their materials, some of the model specs. We will have short discussion about Nano and Mini because they didn't get any love whatsoever on the stream. Maybe they're not as special. I don't know. But yeah, and then let's see. I'll quickly check if we are actually online, if the sound is good. Looks good. Okay. So what did OpenAI actually announce? So, you see it here. They are going to update your ChatGPT, and all the models you can choose now will more or less disappear, and you will have GPT-5 and GPT-5 thinking. And yeah, the model is kind of unifying all that OpenAI has done. You right off the right from the start, all you will have all the functions, capabilities Canvas and all that stuff. Built-in search, I think also deep research. I don't have the 5 yet, so it's still rolling out. I think other people in Europe already have it, so it's not being in Germany the problem. But yeah, I think we can really say this is the big version of what we got with Horizon Alpha and beta last week, or beta, however you say it in English. And I think that the Horizon Alpha and Beta last week were the at least some versions of the Nano and Mini models. I have already like 1.5 hours put into testing ChatGPT with some coding stuff, like just minor things. We will do a Business Central test today. But what actually got presented? So yeah, like I said, we have a unified system. GPT-5 is now like the model for basically everything, at least in the optics. So we have a really smart model. I just have seen that Theo, which is a YouTuber, I really value much. He is kind of shocked because he had early access. He was also there, and he had access with all his benchmarks that he himself built, and he's really shocked how good it is. I think it might be something to it because is it still running? Yeah, this is a solitaire game it built me, like just like on the background. I prompted 2-3 times, then we had one error which it had a bit of an issue to fix, but it fixed it in the end. I also used it in OpenCode, which is an open source tool. I think the system prompts have to be adapted to whatever this is, but yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but like at least getting here that I can draw cards and stuff, and it gets kind of the rules. And he also has a plan to do more, and just like didn't came to it before the stream starts. I always wanted to build my own solitaire game, never tried it, never approached it, but yeah, GPT-5 was able to do it in, I think, an hour, and for $8 something. And honestly, I paid more on for an iPhone app at some point for solitaire. I'm actually not sure. Okay, but yeah, back to the model. We will get to the demo part later. So it's really good at coding. Means it has agentic coding capabilities that are really well, especially tool calling. I had no tool calling issues whatsoever. So yeah, right from the get go was a tool which is not adapted to that. I found it kind of funny. Yeah, stuff gets already this good, which also means that the model is really good at instruction following, at least like with smaller contexts. It will still have to prove itself with larger contexts, but well, we'll see. So that being said, I really liked how it worked because it was a bit different. It is kind of a browse, so I think that has to get better over time. So it writes a lot, but I think we have to really look how it works and how it's like planning out stuff and how it's like following the plan and researching stuff and bringing everything together. That looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's a bit early, like from just like shallow testing to get to any conclusions. But yeah, they have here some games, some pixel art stuff you can draw that they built with the model. It's generally good in creating like useful and good UI. But yeah, you can check out the site. It's like you just type in GPT-5 into Google, and the OpenAI links kind of like at the top. They showed some health examples. They say it's better at creative writing, which they also showed some examples in. So all in all, nothing really groundbreaking. But I also sat there. I was in a stream of a really highly valued YouTuber from Norway, and he was he had other people in the stream. They were kind of not. They were not like excited about it. And then I thought, what actually would excite us? Like, what has a model to deliver to be exciting, like in the typical sense of the word? And I think it's not as easy to even come up with something. One thing that especially got me thinking and really hoping that this is a good model is that they put a lot of emphasis in tool calling, which is immensely important for yeah, for just working with this. They put a lot of emphasis in it not hallucinating. Like it has scores that are really good. That's it's their scores, so have to be with a grain of salt. But yeah, health bench, hard hallucinations, inaccuracies, and challenging conversations. So all three, I think, was already pretty good with hallucinations. Still had them, of course, but was already pretty good. And now they really brought this down. Yeah, you have to give them credit for that, and that's, I think, exactly the right thing, because hallucinations, errors in instruction following, and bad tool calls is what holds a lot of models back, even if they might like Gemini, for example, is really good and it can do a lot of things, but it's really inconsistent with stuff like tool calling. Yeah, they focus on the right things, I think. They upped the context window to 400,000 tokens, which is kind of, I think, yeah, close to 3 times, a bit more, maybe a bit more even than they had before. I think it was 128. No, it was 200,000. So they doubled it. So yeah, and they show one chart. I'm not sure if it's here also. This is also hallucination rates. It's really cool. Like if that's reality, you will feel it. Like this is significant. You will actually see this in real application, especially if I think about B2B applications where my mind is set to most of the time. Having low error rates and a model like not spitting out like just like made up stuff is really important. So yeah, more honest responses. Safety, they have a lot of emphasis. They had a lot of emphasis on this with the open source model they released. They also, of course, have an emphasis on the flagship model for that. They actually don't have the context chart here. They showed one chart in the video. Maybe you can bring it up here. It was kind of in the second half. Oh yeah, there we go. They showed this chart, and this is like how the long context performance on their own benchmarks, I have to say, is doing. And you see like the context with O3 didn't even go that high and fell off a cliff like pretty soon, and that's for most models the case. And they have now achieved, at least in thinking mode, like there's close to no loss and up to 256k. It would be interesting to see how it's up to 400k, if this is like a curve that stays linear or if it like falls off a cliff then. But even up to 256k, I think it is pretty good performance here. The pink chart is like the non reasoning one, but like most stuff I do, even if I have like long conversations, is going up maybe to 128k, especially in coding and mighty. And having like the performance being so consistent, I always wonder why this dip is happening, because it's like it's getting worse and then it's getting better. And they had this like with some other model, they had this as well. I find it kind of funny. But yeah, so I've written in several articles and LinkedIn posts, said it on different videos, like the instruction following, and that's what also is in this long context performance. Like the better the model is capable of like getting a grip of all the information it has to generate the output, the better and more useful and more complex can the actual processing be. This is highly useful. I'm not gonna lie. If that's true, I think this model will perform exceptionally well, because getting it from here, from like around 60% to like what is it, like 96 with thinking, it's ridiculous. So if that's true, I think that will be a game changer. And the only model even competing here is Claude. And I would love to see Claude. I think it's an open source valuation, so maybe they should do it. I overlooked this. Two needle. Okay, two needle means like you have this needle in a haystack test, and two needles means like, okay, I have like two different informations and I have to set them in context, but they're scattered somewhere in there. Whilst if you have the needle in a haystack thing, it's most models perform well in that one because it's just picking one piece of information. Picking two is like it's a lot harder, and setting that into context and delivering an output. So that's what it's all about. So I guess if you have three needle, four needle, and stuff, you might get worse performance. But yeah, really cool. I said I wrote it on the stream where I was. It's really good to see providers focus on instruction following, tool calling, context performance, because that's what's standing between us and real agentic workflows. Because having hallucination rate is low, having a context consistent performance over broad context window, it's just like it's going to be the difference of you having like a 60% success rate with your algorithm and with your subsequent calls, or having a 70-80% difference. If you get to that 80% mark, I think a lot of tasks will be like you can automate them from that point without even thinking about that. So you don't need, you can just trust system more, and trust and delivering systems you can trust. I think that's where we have to go. So yeah, of course, I say it's great at coding, it's a good writer, it's good on health, and it's safer. And that was pretty much it. So it's not a lot more that they have shown. So yeah, it's up to us to put it to the tests. What I think is pretty awesome, we have this mini and nano versions. And I don't know with that, but like we had the 4.1 mini, with a million token context window, and especially for stuff like extracting a type of text or a type of like function, for example, from a large code file worked exceptionally well. I zero-shotted stuff I should have never be able to zero-shot. So I think this is like, especially if you have like B2B processes where you just have to get knowledge about, over like a huge chunk of data, you have to process, synthesize data. These models come in really handy. I also tried already the Nano one, just on this like simple chat that I just simply created in Cursor, and it was pretty fast. So I'm not gonna lie, this is really going somewhere. And yeah, GPT-5 Mini, Nano, the 4.1 Mini and Nano weren't as far apart performance-wise, but now you have pricing which is like 5 cents per million input and 40 per million output. It's cheaper than running the new open source model. And if it is, for example, the Horizon Alpha equivalent that we got last week, like we're in for something here, because it's exceptionally cheap with a lot of intelligence for that price. Yeah, so I wouldn't sleep on them, and I will put this to the test. Maybe not today, but the upcoming days, and I'll try. I have the algorithm I wrote the article like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I summarize a book, including all illustrations, to like a concise, like several page overview of all the concepts in the book, and I'll try to apply that. And also I have some code based analysis tools which I'm really eager to put this to test too. So yeah, the pricing is competitive. I'm not sure how much is like Gemini 2.5 flashlight pricing, API pricing. I think flashlight is still cheaper. So this is Pro. Pro is also Pro is actually priced the same as GPT-5. Let's see. But Pro has a 2 million context window. That being said, how much of that context is actually usable, that's debatable. And Flash is going 30 in and 250 out. Yeah. So what do we have here? Flash was kind of minute 25 and 2. Yeah, so it's comparable. So I think they priced it similar to Google, but the Flash Lite is still a bit more expensive, or no, close to. The only thing that Google does a lot of audio processing as well, like native audio processing. OpenAI doesn't do that. I find this is a missed opportunity. I really like that, especially I worked on a server for a personal assistant, and like putting in audio without the need of transcribing it. If you don't want to use real time audio like with 4.0, yeah, it's cool. If you have to transcribe it, it's an additional step and just takes time. If you can input the audio directly, it's really cool. But yeah, so so pricing is kind of close. Like I said, we have a 400,000 token context window. We have a 128,000 token output, and that's not usual. Like the most recent models had more of that, but 128k max output tokens is really a lot. It could output the whole Harry Potter book. Maybe it can even. Would be surprised if it's not in there somewhere. Yeah, that's cool. 128k output also fits into what they're doing with all this thinking and tool calling and really long long compute time to output whatever you want to output. Yeah, I noticed that none of the models are for real time, so I guess that's coming at some point. They did mention they updated real time, but I think they updated the 4.0 version. I would love to see better pricing on that, to be honest, for real time, because it's still like $5 in, $20 out. So yeah, it's really really expensive to run. It also has a small context window. Yeah, they will do more updates. At least that's what they said. Um, so I hope they update the for real time as well, and maybe do the same as Google did, because Google has its Flash model, like the smaller model and faster model, doing the real time audio. Would love to see something similar from OpenAI. But yeah, that's the model overview. Five mini and nano. Like I said, mini and nano is something I'm really eager to put to the test. Um, if they are just derivatives of what I've seen here, they might be awesome and fast. And fast is cool. I kind of like fast. Who doesn't? The thing is, if they are, for example, fast, for example, GPT-5 Mini is what we got last week with Horizon Beta, and I used Horizon Beta in open code. The thing is, if it's fast, you can just iterate more often. If it's fast, you can attempt to do like additional runs for checks and stuff without it breaking the bank. While if you have an expensive model, you really have to think about like how many loops am I doing? Like what's the cost to performance ratio there? Yeah, I always was bullish on small models and cheap models that are actually intelligent, and these might be exceptional at tool calling. And for simple use cases, for research cases, it might be enough to spin up like like 3, 4, 5 agents of GPT-5 Nano. They can call the tools as well as GPT-5. They can understand the text as well as GPT-5. They will not be as good in the large context department, but for calling the tools, analyzing a website transcript, that will be plenty. And then it's just like it's not as expensive. So you can scrape 100 websites and you pay only a few bucks for that. Whilst if you would use GPT-5 for that, you might pay like 10 times that. I think it's literally 10 times, right? Oh no, it's 6 times, 5 times. Sorry, 5 times with Mini and uh, my math 10, 20, 25, 25 times the price. So yeah, I wouldn't sleep on them. Like, try that out. Okay, let's jump into some of the code examples that I had. No, that's not what I wanted to open. I just want to show you the. Do I have it here? Open externally. Yeah, that's a chess game. That one was generated in literally 5 minutes with the fast model, which might be the mini or nano. I'm not sure. I generated this one in Cursor. And yeah, it's just a chess game with all the rules applied. Yeah, you can actually play it. I think it did a pretty good job with the with the figures. That's also like the third run when I created them. I'm still blown away how good 3D works. Meanwhile, and just in the browser, yeah, you can reset it. You can flip the board. It's pretty similar to what I got from Horizon Alpha. Like it's actually really close. So I'm pretty sure that the models we had, the stealth models we had last week, were GPT-5 Nano and Mini. Because GPT-5 itself is slower, like a lot slower than the Horizon models were. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. Okay, so that's that. And then, like I said, I have the solitaire game. Yeah, there's like these sprites look a bit like, but it is also like the first version. I think if I prompted it to go further, like it says to me, like the next steps will be to implement the scores and the auto jump of cards if you like double click them. So like you had it on Windows. But the fact that it went like just from one prompt, it went ahead and did the research, researched also this, how to get the sprites. Sprites are like the graphics that you see. Like this is a sprite. I don't know why it's called that. It's just called that. So, and it created them. It created the folder. It put them all in there. It referenced them. It tested itself with builds of the solution, and also how it fixed the error in the end was also kind of interesting. I think I have it open here still. Yeah. So he went ahead and he actually just created a node request to test the functions and see see where they break, and then it went ahead, fixed it here, and then it kind of gave always this like kind of long result, with a lot of words and a lot of like also some redundancies in the answer. But yeah, it ran for an hour with all the tool calling and everything, and it took like $11. So if you want to have your own junior or maybe even better programmer, that's what you pay an hour for him, which is kind of cool. Not gonna lie, this is really, really cool. So I really hope now that it can do Business Central, and that's what we want to try next. So I just set up just a fresh instance. I have my cloud sandbox open. Let's just like please create a new table for calculating. Please create a new table for calculating. What is it that we want to calculate? Like, please create a new module for benchmarking AI models. That could be a nice one. This is just like to see does he recognize this as a Business Central thing? I don't have any, like usually I put in rules for Business Central code base where I say, hey, do this, do that. But now I just wanted to check out like how good is he at AL? How well does he know the general rules in AL? And is he able to just put out the right syntax? So that will be the thing. You already see that he's planning his next move. That's something he does a lot, which is also cursor related. But he takes his time for thinking. Like it's now GPT-5. You see, you have GPT-5, GPT-5 fast. I'm actually not exactly sure if that's just GPT-5 was like not like you can set the thinking to minimal, or if it's actually the nano model. But yeah. So he created a new code unit with AI bench. Okay, yeah. So from a syntax perspective, that's not looking. What's that? So this is like my first test with it. So like we are in this together. Well, let's see. Maybe I copy over some rules from another project to put actually in here. Cursor rules, standard Business Central. Okay, yeah, copied over some rules. We have some, just some guidance. But I think I have to prefix. No. Okay. So these rules help the system to actually get some insights on what to do and not to do. Did he fix the? Yeah, he fixed the syntax error. Okay, I think he will now go for quite some time, and that's fine and all. But I actually don't want to build this. From like he seems to not be as doing as well as Claude does. Claude is exceptional with AL. I'm not sure why that is, but it is. So let's actually undo that. Let's create a new chat. So I want to do the following. So I want Business Central has a prepayment function in the standard. I want you to create a new to extend the function to work with blanket orders. I want to create a prepayment from a blanket order and use this on subsequent orders that use that blanket order. So I had this actually. I've done this manually myself. Then I tried it with Claude. Claude was able to do this with some iterations, but still pretty good. And now I give it some access because I have built a little tool which I called BC MCP, creative as I am. And this tool is really cool because what I did was I processed the whole Business Central standard code base into an SQLite database. The thing is that the Business Central code is such that there are some main code units and tables which have 150K token files. So I needed to split them up in proper ways and to build a structure around this. And I baked this all into an MCP. So I will create a new project. So this MCP needs to first register a project, and then we need to execute a JavaScript file. Because what I actually did or do here is I index the app files, because the app files, you can read the source, and every project might have his own version, their own version. So what I did, I went ahead and said, hey, I want you to take the app packages in that folder and upload them. So let's first register the project. No, that's not going to work. So the MCP is still pretty new. Please create the upload app.js file first and put the API key in there. So the good thing is this MCP. Okay. The good thing is this MCP is running locally. It creates a local SQLite database. Your Business Central data is not going anywhere. Your code stays with you. So if you have packages, like for example, you have several extensions and you build with like different dependencies, you can and your code has to be visible in that in the app in the extension in the app file. But if you have that, you can just index the AL packages, and and then you're good to go. Just download your symbols, upload them to the SQLite database. Like I said, like right now it's all it's all local. I will have a remote version 2 at some point. Right now I'm working on an algorithm that also builds out like a map of all the Business Central processes, so you can actually get even more insights. So it's multiform data, request, API key, process app file. Okay, I think that worked. Okay, then we go ahead, and what we actually do, we have now this API, like what the MCP server does, it goes ahead and creates a project for this extension. This project gets an API key. The API key is just written down locally here. It's also not meant for being published or something. It's just a one-time thing where you can say, okay, I can upload the version. It will automatically recognize recognize when you have version update. So he checks the version number in the file name, and if the version number in the file name is the same as before, it does not update. And if the version number changes, then it pushes an update to the SQLite database so that you always can update the code if you have a newer version of that. So yeah, don't unpack. Yeah, and you have to right now. That's on me. I have to actually index the files. So now it's uploading this to the MCP server. This is something you could not do through the normal MCP server. That's why I had to do this like upload file thing. But yeah, it now indexes like base application. That's the biggest one of them all. Takes a second to process all the files. I think it's 8,000 objects meanwhile, and 80,000 procedures and variables, fields and stuff. So it's quite a lot. The cool thing is when we're done with that, we can then just go ahead and Business Central goes ahead and then it just searches for the symbols it needs. It needs, for example, in our case, the prepayment symbols. Then it step by step takes the code, goes through the code. It can also check out dependencies with each other. And for every Business Central developer, a lot of what we do is actually we try to see how the standard Business Central does it, and then we just apply this to whatever we need to build. And now the AI is able to do the same. So let's quickly get Business Foundation in here. Let's get System Application in here and System. So then we have System and System. Okay. Cool. So now we have everything indexed. Okay. Thing is indexed. You now can check code. Do not start coding right away. I need plan first. So that's something I'd like to do. I love to do with Business Central, or generally like with everything I develop with AI. First prompt's always like plan mode. Like, and if you are in something like Claude Code, or in my case here is Open Code, which is an open source alternative, you can tap and then it goes into plan mode down here. Can I make it bigger? I think it's pretty small for you all. Move and resize. No. Okay. No, sorry. Okay. Well, that's not. Okay. Yeah. I'll figure this out. But yeah, and this plan mode is actually cool. So right now, then he goes ahead and he starts searching the symbols. He queries sales post prepayments. Then he has one result. So then he gets a symbol. He searches for other symbols that just have prepayment in the name. He finds the symbols, and then you can just research through the standard code. And it takes a bit. In another code base, I just set it to auto, so he can just like execute it as much as he wants. Like I said, it's against my local database anyway. So he now got the symbols. He gets the gist of it basically, and he's also able to get single procedures. He's also able to just look through all of it. and it's doing pretty well right now. So it's kind of like, yeah, good sales blanket order. Okay, need to, and this is all context, right? So he builds out all his tools, all his function calls, and this is all context, and that's why this the context capabilities are really really good. Yeah. So get symbol summary. Get symbol summary is a function that gets actually to not get the whole object all the time. I did the following. You can get a summary. The summary has like the procedures mapped out and where they start. And so then you can look at which procedure do you need or which procedures do you need. Then you can get details from that, and then you can get the actual code. So it's like a several step process. But what I achieved with that is I actually was able to not have a 150,000 token file, which I just have to work with to throw in there. And that was kind of nice. And that's what I noticed already with the GPT this evening is it really is planning a lot and is thinking a lot. And I think that's a good thing. It's not helping with being faster, but if I have the right result sooner, I don't have to do as much iterations with like building code, testing, building code. Like this, every iteration just costs time. But writing the code is not everything. So yeah, he goes ahead, searches for everything that he needs, and just crafts the plan. I'm actually curious how long this will take. That's the thing with live coding. But at least the MCP server worked. I was kind of I should have indexed it before, but I was in the other stream like up until like I think 9:40. Yeah. Okay. So now we're reading Business Central code. What we're trying to build is actually we want to extend the standard Business Central prepayment functions, so we can actually do prepayments from the blanket order. And this is something that you cannot just like drop in. You have to have a really you have to really understand the processes behind. I think, yeah. I think Cursor did get an update, and the MCP server is working better, because before I had always like a second or two until he loaded my my private MCP server. So yeah, let's just see. But I have to say, tool calling works just fine, and it's also pretty quick in actually getting to the tool call and getting to the next tool call and subsequent tool calls. That's cool. That's a win. I'm actually curious to see how the code will look like. I need to propose the plan to dive into code. Blah, blah, blah. You could. So during thinking, he's calling all this. Well, I think it's a mixture, but that's also integration, right? It's not always only the model. It's just like how did Cursor integrate this? Okay. Well, let's see. In the meantime, we could just close now. There it is. In the meantime, we don't want to play solitaire. I would love to check if my ChatGPT is actually updated. No, it's not. I feel kind of robbed. A lot of people already have it. Yeah. I think if someone has to wait, then it's German customers. Okay. How are we doing here? Okay, now he's creating the implementation plan. Okay, still has to find some stuff. Focus on sales invoice line, customer ledger entry. Okay. So why did I build this MCP? Maybe I just show you an example. If we go into the standard sales line, for example, that's the code, right? This is actually 12,422 lines of code, and it's 114,000 tokens with O3 mini calculations. So loading this with an MCP is already like kind of not working pretty well. But you can say, okay, we can split this up. We have fields have triggers, and then we have functions and stuff. So, okay, but if you then take a look at code units, and we take our sales post code unit, you see we have 100, 195,000 tokens. Oh, which is kind of a lot. And this is all code. These are all procedures. I think there are hundreds of procedures just in this code unit, which is just nuts, to be completely fair. And yeah, but with the MCP server, he's able to just digest it bit by bit. I'm actually shocked how well this works. It was just an idea that I had in mind, and I just like said, okay, let's try at least to get some custom code, some standard code as a reference. Yeah. Maximilian, you have it from Germany. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That is just me, CDN. We'll see. I'm not using the ChatGPT app as much anyway lately, so it's not an issue. I also just signed up for the max, like for the middle tier max with Claude, because I want to build, or I want to use Claude Code as an agent engine basically, and build out some agents, put in some MCP servers, self-built MCP servers there. I don't know if some of you already noticed that sometimes like the MCP server is running, it's clearly running. He's using it, but he shows up red. I never got why that is. Well, that's kind of interesting. Okay, I'm actually curious how if he gets like numbering and stuff correct, and how this plan looks like in the end, because he's planning for quite some time now. Can I see the tokens actually? Oh yeah, that's the plan now. Plan. Extended prepayments goal. Create a prepayment invoice directly from blanket sales order. Auto use those prepayments when posting invoices for subsequent orders and create that from blanket order. Yes, that's correct. So conversation flow, conversion flow, and events carry. On before create sales header. On after insert sales line. After insert all sales order lines. On after run. Okay, he checked all the events that are firing. He's checked the sales post. He checked which code units. Okay, user experience. Add an action to on blanket sales order. Create prepayment invoice. When converting blanket order to order, prepayment setup flows automatically. Posting order invoices later, system automatically. Okay. Then he wants to extend the blanket sales order. Validate selected prepayment percent. Yeah, okay, so he wants to reuse prepayment percent, so this is basically standard behavior. Okay. Event subscribers carry prepayment from blanket order to order. Okay, I'm actually curious where he wants to save the prepayment order values to see. But yeah, that looks good, honestly. Okay. Okay, please start implementing. Let's see if he puts the plan into an actual execution plan for Cursor. Oh, the app, I didn't even try. I don't know if I have even installed the app. No, I don't. Interesting. But I guess it's my account. So if my account is not having this, I can check my phone actually. My phone, I think I have to download the app anyway. ChatGPT desktop. Let's see, for macOS. There we go. You have to log in. Yes. Oh yeah, here I have it. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, with the new gradient. Interesting. So yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Max. So Maximilian, Max. I didn't even think of the app. Interesting that I have it here. So okay, this is yeah, but they actually completely removed everything else. Bold move. That's confidence. Okay, so let's see. Oh, he's still. Damn it. I activated first. I activated like auto execute commands, but then he started to doing all sorts of like command line stuff, and also removing files. And, he didn't do like anything like really wrong, but like it's kind of scary if it's just auto executing, because the tools, if they auto executing, they're kind of fast, and then it just sometimes just removes everything in a folder. And you're like, yeah, you kind of feel like you want to control over that. Maybe that changed at some point. We'll see. So okay, he's reading the app JSON to get the object ID, so he's aware that he has to get the numbering right. I should have removed this hello world AL stuff. I also don't think that he will apply the standard Microsoft foldering structure that's required, but yeah, we'll see. So what did he do now? I said he create like we had a request. He created the plan. We then said, okay, please start implementing. Then he got the symbol he wants to work on first. Got the summary of that. Searched for other symbols that are connected to that. The search symbols function of the MCP server is actually kind of cool, because it searches basically over all the symbols that and their contents, and tries to find the matching objects. So that's yeah, it's really useful, and it's hallucinating a lot less, because it gets the right event triggers to subscribe to and stuff. Oh, now stuff is popping up. Try GPT and cursor. Oh, there's a cursor CLI. Oh, that's new. Well. Huh. Interesting. So cursor had this background agent functionality, and I already used it for some JavaScript or like some web development parts. And I love this. You kind of like, you have to imagine like you just create a task like we did now, but I wouldn't have it in my chat, but I would it would run on a remote machine, so I can close down, I can go away basically, and through Slack I get notifications when it's done, and I can also have several background tasks, and it also creates a new branch. Within the new branch, it just like creates what it thinks it has to create, and then you can just check out the branch and see what it's done and test it and apply it. And now we have live on stream announcements that we have. Cursor CLI. I have to install it, I think. Huh? Why not? Let's see. Do I have a brew installer? There's also pricing. Okay, that's a standard pricing for Cursor. Read the docs. Cursor CLI, Cursor agent, installation. Do I have? No, it's no brew installation. Okay. Yeah, let's just jump in. Why not? Quickly close my Solitaire app. City, where are we? Yeah. City stream. Kadir cursor CLI. Yeah. Okay. Let's install it and let's see. Next steps, cursor agent. Okay. Press any key to sign in. Yes, log in. All set. Cool. Let's jump back. Plan, search, build anything. Is it getting my MCPs? Can I check this? Copy, feedback, resume, Vim. Okay, so we have now, there is Claude Code, which started a bit of like this. I think it's not fair. Ada was kind of the first CLI-based programming IDE. Then Claude came along with Claude Code. Then we had this Codex thing, which is kind of like, it's dead, kind of. It's bad, and it's not, nobody's working on that. Then we have Google's CLI tool. I actually don't know. Gemini CLI? Is it Gemini CLI? Which has a generous free tier for Gemini 2.5 Pro. A lot of people like that one as well and use it a lot because, yeah, like I said, you have a generous free tier. This is the next one, basically. Which models can I run? Okay, GPT-5, Sonnet 4, and Opus 4.1. Yeah, these are the available models. Okay, interesting. Plan, search, and build anything. Yeah, that's a bit too much for today, but another tool for playing with. I just get used to open code, and I still think I really like open code. This is an open source project; it's completely MIT. So you can use it as you like. You can extend it. You can contribute to it. It's done by at least one of the guys. I forgot his name, but he's also a YouTuber and streamer. And you can basically use every model, including local models, which is kind of nice. So, for example, I have GPT OSS, which runs locally, and I tested it out, and the tool calling was really well. I posted a video for this yesterday, so who's interested can check out my LinkedIn. So yeah, let's see which CLI tool actually makes the run for me. Interesting. That's cool. Okay. I was seeing my tool call. So yeah, I think it's interesting. He's thinking a lot and it's taking its time. I would love to. I know why I don't have any pricing here because Cursor said like they the first days of GPT-5 will be for free. So it's kind of annoying because I would love to see how much I would have spent at least. But I guess that's not. It's not now. Can I see it here? No, I can duplicate the chat. They had information about token usage and pricing. It's kind of sad that they don't, because for example, in OpenCode, I have it always in the in the top right where it shows me how much tokens the chat is at the moment, which is really useful, and how much money I've spent. So yeah, I would love to see this in Cursor as well, because I think it's like the Cursor model is to kind of hide it because they have no pay-per-use, but yeah, it's not really user friendly. Can I see like my usage? Show usage pricing model. No, I can just configure price limit. Okay, interesting. I think OpenAI is not. I use for OpenAI. I use Cursor in my Cursor subscription for Claude, which I was using mostly up until now. The subscription wasn't the subscription, wasn't used because I used my own API key. I think last month I spent $300 on Cursor, with Cursor on Claude. I did a lot of programming, generated a lot of code. Okay, cool. So yeah, it works. It started creating. Blanket header. Why is it? Interesting. I guess. Oh, that's new. I hadn't had this with customer code yet because we started using namespaces. He needs to import the namespaces of everything that he's using here. So, yeah. Oh, this will be really annoying in the future. I really hated this back then when I was doing .NET. I still hate it. Let's see. Okay, well, let me quickly remove the namespace and then the errors should be gone. Yeah. So create order from blanket order. There is no run with check. Is it that what he's searching? No, he's checking the posting. Okay. Good. Run is also not. No overload takes one method. Yeah, should have done a better job, to be honest, in with finding the right functions to call. But he did a lot of, like, if you look at the MCP server calls, he did a lot of symbol search, but he rarely got like procedure details and stuff. Some of which are, especially the parameters, are in the response when you get the list of all procedures. That's kind of disappointing because run is the code unit run. That's why run is the code unit run and it's not in the standard code because it's part of the general framework. Okay. Sadly, I have to say that still it's not perfect for Business Central, like from just a syntax perspective. Like he's looking stuff up. That's fine. For example, he searched for where was it? I think was it down here? Yeah, he searched for that procedure. Maybe he will correct it, but still, like, he has procedure in here in the name, which is kind of, it is hallucinated. You can't say anything else. That's a bit disappointing. Can I fine tune the models? That's something, because I'm actually building a fine tuning data set for Business Central. Or I'll let Gemini build it, to be fair. So is there endpoints, modalities, features, streaming, fine tuning? You can fine tune it. Okay. Yeah, I might do this. A fine-tuned model for Business Central. It's sad. Like, they have direct access to Microsoft. Why the hell don't they train it on AL, which is kind of like Microsoft's mid SME workhorse? Yeah, actually don't know. It's kind of annoying, if I'm honest. Because Claude is good at AL. You can't deny that. Like these errors, Claude doesn't do this. And the thing is that he's not getting a solution from the base on how to do this. He can check out other places where the run method is called. Whew, that's a tough one. Okay, let him cook. Let's see. Maybe he gets this figured out. But he doesn't look well. Oh, okay. Good. But I sadly I've already seen enough. Oh, I was hoping so much this like, and it's not even like it's not even the like raw experience where he had to do this all from his kind of from what he remembers. Hmm. I could like maybe fine tune is not even necessary. Maybe we could do this with an instruction on how to like giving it like a lot like some base understanding of like the base rules of Business Central. But I guess a fine tune would be the better option. Hmm. Well. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Like he does the tool calls properly. Like if I see what he calls and what he's looking at, looks fine. It looks also like same as Claude does it. But stuff like this is so annoying. Like it's just basic Business Central stuff, right? Run is not being called with like it can be called, but it's still, like it's not have to be called with an argument in this case. Yeah. Okay. Good. But I think we have our first look. We have our answer. The other object is without errors, so at least the page. Okay, that's pretty simple. That's done. Here he got the usings in here. Okay. Like posting is kind of over it, but I have to say this is not representative on how it would do how it would do web apps, how it would do Python apps. That's not a good test for that. Um, okay, I think I'm stopping it here because I don't have faith. Oh, okay, I give it this last shot, but I don't have faith that it actually fixed his stuff. Let's see. Still does not get the run, but he fixed everything else. He fixed the right naming for the event subscriber. I'm actually I don't know, like he sees an error, like he found one error, and the error basically says, "Hey, this is not taking any methods." Why doesn't he just remove this and checks how maybe like because how I implemented it when I was doing it, I took directly to I took directly to the like this is the yes no. This is like a code unit which goes before the actual posting code unit, and I took like directly the posting code unit, and Claude did as well, by the way. Yeah, now he tries to find the onRun method. Oh, he did find the onRun method. Did he fix it? No, he didn't. It's just my yeah, it's just my IDE showing crap. Okay. I have to find something to maybe it's obsolete in the winter, but it gets pretty hot in here. I'm starting to transpire. Yeah. That's what I meant. Sometimes it like starts the MCP call and then it takes 1 or 2 seconds until he actually puts in the function. Still, I think it's my server because it does not do this with all MCP servers. I kind of also feel like I should give him a hint. This is just like post prepayment invoice. Okay. Oh, he find an alternative. Look at that. But is that actually good? Let's check. Oh yeah, this is fine. Yeah, you can do this. Okay, yeah, never mind. We found a solution. It was a bit of a stretch, but okay. Okay. So let's see if it actually builds. Yeah, it builds. Interesting. Okay. So I guess call it success. um so he took a lot of time to figure this out. The thing is he was doing like the normal run. And I guess if he would have done the run like this, it would have even like worked. But he tried the run with the actual variable, which is set up here. He did the variable ordering correct, but this might be a fluke. Um, he did this correct here as well. Okay. So, yeah, it's not horrible. Um, it's not a lot of code, to be honest. uh, Not sure if he needs some calculations and stuff. I think he auto applies stuff then. But I don't have any. Do I have subscribers to sales? Oh yeah, sales invoice line insert. The thing is, what he has to do. What he has to do, and that's not happening here, is he has to fill the sales order with the prepayment fields. Because when you go into when you create a prepayment in a standard, you run into like it pre-fills fields and it connects the prepayment to the order. If you do it on the blanket order, you don't have the direct connection from the sales order to the prepayment, so you have to create this connection manually, basically in the code. He didn't do this, so this will not work, sadly. I think if I extend the MCP with the knowledge graph, then we will be able to figure stuff like this out. But maybe, and that would be sad, to be honest, we have to stick with Claude Code for now. GPT-5. So, yeah, let's draw a conclusion. I think we've done enough. We also reach the end of our planned streaming time. What can we say? General thoughts, outlook. There is some fallout already on YouTube. So this is Theo. Theo is a YouTuber I really, I really value, and he's kind of like, okay, this broke me, and I wasn't expecting it being this good. He's a web dev. That's mostly where he comes from, but he has a lot of like his own tasks and tests and stuff. It runs with already also some really good agentic tests. Him being kind of like shocked on how good it is, I believe it. Like he's not one for hyping this up. That being said, we have to wait some days. It will be tests. I guess I now need to get the fine tune done because I actually like a lot. I actually like a lot how GPT-5 thinks, how he researches, and also like he was stuck. He didn't have proper access to get rid of the run error. He could have just like if I would be intelligent and I see there is only a run without the variable, I could just remove the variable. And that's what a junior would do. But you think, okay, but like if I remove the variable, I cannot post it properly because I don't have the order header in there, right? And so this is actually a good thing because, yeah, he actually um, said, okay, I need to create a temporary order. That is fine. That's also how I solved it. and then create for that order, create the prepayment. And then that's what he missed. He needs to connect back the prepayment to the blanket order. But what I wanted to say is he was intelligent enough, or it was, sorry, it was intelligent enough to actually notice, okay, I need to solve this and I need to hand over this data. I cannot just run it without this data. But what he could have done, he could have done the same as he did here, and he would be, I think he would be fine, would have been fine. But instead, he found another function inside the code unit using my tool calling and MCP servers correctly, and solved it anyway. And that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. So, is it actual intelligence? That's the question, right? Yeah, that's not like that's trivial. He did not opt to just remove the variable and then because that's what the AI models like tended to do. No, he was actually like I'm sad that the syntax was not he wasn't aware of it from the get-go, but I'm actually stoked how he solved it. That's new. That's really new. Thing is, we still we don't see any proper thoughts. I guess we see thoughts. I'm not sure if these are the actual thoughts from a thinking process or it's what the um, thinking through the cursor lens looks like. Don't know. Huh. Okay. This is not a perfect solution by any means, but this one thing, huh? That's good because I know so many devs who would have done this wrong. um, okay, so yeah, what shall we say? GPT-5, it's here. It's good. It seems to be good. It's able to build stuff out in ways I have not seen any model do before. Benchmarks don't tell anything, honestly. At this point, you can just ignore them. I'd love to be benchmarks like these hallucination benchmarks that they have like their own benchmarks now for that, their own evals. And I also understand that building this evaluation and benchmarks it's important and it's also a hard thing to do. But man, this is a good model. Not gonna lie, and everyone has now access to it. It's cool. Really, really cool. Uh, yeah, actually, also like seeing this, I'm curious how how the agent mode is improving now. How is deep research improving now? This kind of like thinking and tool usage and application that was impressive. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I just it just went in the beginning of the stream. I said like, what has to happen that impresses us, that gets like this aha moment that we have like this GPT-4 moment all over again, and that might be it. Um, cool. I dismissed it first. Now thinking about it, it's cool. I was like 5 seconds more, and I would have closed off and said, "Okay, you're done." But this is not only a solution; it's the right way to solve this specific error that he had here. Like on another way than just doing that. Could have been better to assume you can do the same code unit run here. Yeah, okay, I give you that, but that also works. Um, that's cool. Should I say? Okay, I think I will work on a fine tune. This model is super interesting. It's the way it does its work. It's really cool. Yeah. Okay. I think yeah, we leave it with that. I'm also curious to see what the nano models are able to do, if they have similar behavior. What are the limits of these? Um, hmm, that's interesting. And also, if you think about this context, oh, here now it's showing we used like 100,000 tokens, something like that, 80, 70, 90, yeah, 90,000 tokens, kind of something around the ballpark. Um, this was one prompt, basically, out of two. Okay, we had the planning, which was also already a lot of tokens, and then he took all the planning and put it into action. 90,000 tokens, and he was still able to fix the stuff, even with that large context. We might be up to something. I'm eager to find out what this can do, and what this will mean for agents. It could be just mind blowing for agent application, especially if it can handle like large sets of tool calls, or maybe delegate properly and stuff. Oh man, I can't think about a lot of stuff. Cool. Is it mind blowing? Is it like better than everything else? Actually, we don't know. But the way it's thinking, I've not seen this before. I had this feeling already with Horizon Alpha last week, where I thought, okay, something's different here. Like the way it like responds, the response works, the questions it asks back. Um, huh. Okay. I think I'll leave it with that. It's a good model. I think I have to do finally. I also it's something that's on my mind, on my list for quite some time now. Create a fine tuning data set and fine tune this model to work with Business Central. This and also the smaller ones. Um, cool. Thank you for listening. I don't know if still someone's with me, but yeah, GPT-5. It's out there. It's available for everyone, everywhere, on all platforms. So yeah, looking forward to see also what everyone else is building. I'm eager to dive into. I think I won't go home now, and I'll still like it's close to midnight, but I'll have to test some more stuff, some more things out. This the thing is, if it's thinking differently, if it's working differently, and if it's processing differently, I also have a bit to relearn how I talk to the models and how I applied my knowledge and my ways of working with the models. Yeah, it's cool. I think I will record a small video to sum this up, and put it in a post. But everyone who wants to rewatch the stream, you're very welcome. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Yeah, have fun building. If you have any questions on how to apply advanced AI technology or techniques, sorry, just yeah, hit me up. I think I might have something for you. This was a quick, rather shallow test. I will give you some more in-depth results. My German's coming through um, pretty soon. So yeah, until then, see you in the next one.